International Workers' Memorial Day is commemorated on the 20th of April, and it's a day where people come together to remember those who have been killed, remember those who are injured or indeed suffer some illness or disease in the workplace. And the main focus on Workers' Memorial Day is the leaf-laying ceremony that takes place here in Hamilton. However, today, Joint Trade Union Council in South Lanarkshire decided to have a themed event based on stress in the workplace. That's the hidden disease, that's the hidden illness, stress, anxiety, depression. So in partnership obviously with South Lanarkshire Council, supported by elected members, management, corporate, and we had guest speakers from the National Health Service, from social work and corporate, giving us managers, personnel officers and trade union representatives more to think about regarding stress in the workplace.
As people, why is this an important issue? What collectively can we do as people to look after our mental health and well-being? When we talk about mental health, often people start to think about mental ill health, and they start to use terms like they and them. And I think the starting point is that when we talk about mental health, we talk about us. We all know what it feels like, including myself, to feel stressed at times, to feel low at times, to have a sleepless night, to feel angry at times, to feel a bit overwhelmed. So every single one of us know what that feels like. A mental health problem is one where it becomes persistent, it lasts for longer periods of time, it becomes overwhelming, it doesn't seem to go away, and it starts to impact on a person's life.
We hear many stories about employees who are perhaps taking the stresses of customers and colleagues on board. For example, you might have a social worker who is working with a vulnerable family and then start to feel emotions and stress based on the job that they're doing. So it's fundamental as an organisation that we recognise how people may be affected in their job and that we put measures into place to help them deal with that.
In my role as Mental Health and Wellbeing Development Officer, I was delighted to be invited along to speak and to give information on what's happening within the Council and Health in relation to mental health and wellbeing development. One of the key things in managing stress is that it is something that we do ourselves, so it's important that we encourage people to feel confident that they can say if something's affecting them and how it's affecting them, and to then collectively find solutions to those issues.
The Employee Assistance Programme is a programme that's been put into place by corporate which offers a wide range of tools to help employees and to also support managers in helping employees, and that includes things like the Employee Counselling Service, Mediation Service, and also things like complementary therapies where it might be about dealing with the root cause but it might also be about helping them deal with the symptoms.
From the seminar today, I certainly learned things myself around what was available in the Council, particularly to help people to identify stress and how it manifests itself, and that policies are not just things that are written on pieces of paper, but are actually things that we can go back to and refer to and ensure that our day-to-day practice is in keeping with the policies that the Council has in place to manage stress and to ensure that workers are treated with dignity and respect in their place of work, and that equips them to actually do the best job that they can.
There's a close relationship between organisations that look after staff's mental health and well-being that in turn improve productivity. So both of them have to be considered in the same vein. I think generally what we aim to do is to put a range of supports in our communities that make it easier for all of us, whether we're employees of South Lanarkshire Council or not, to access supports within the community. And so one example would be stress control classes that we have established in partnership with South Lanarkshire Council amongst other partners.
There's a lot of good work going on in different little pockets. Today gave people the opportunity to engage, to network, to actually discover where they would go if they had a particular issue relating to stress, whether they're dealing with an employee, whether they're a manager, whether they're a shop steward. We have methods in place, strategies in place, policies in place in South Lanarkshire Council, a wide network of support. What we need to do is raise the awareness of it. It's not about any one organisation, any one policy that will deal with stress or address stress for our employees. It's every single one of us understanding what it's about. And I think one of the most important words that came out of today's themed event was caring. We need to start caring about each other. If we think that somebody has issues, we should be asking them, Is there a problem? What can we do to help? Not only as an organisation, but as individuals. And hopefully that, by doing that, will take away the stigma that is attached to somebody being so frightened to actually admit that they maybe have a difficulty coping, which then manifests itself as stress, anxiety or depression.